Frank Nazar has not scored a goal since the Ottawa game on October 28th. He had a goal and assist in that game. And then he was
such a long time.
Yes. Then November 7th was a Calgary game where he was injured. Then missed 8 days. So before the injury, Nazar went 5 games without a point. This is before the Calgary injury.
Okay.
He returned on November 15th with an assist, 18:54 of ice time. He had 2 shots on goal. Since then, since the return from injury, 4, I'm counting points, 6.
Yeah, like 10 points?
9. 9 points since coming back from the injury.
All assists.
It's getting to the point now where does it look like he's playing better? Yes. Right? Like I think
he's
you would
gotten
agree
better
that
since he's returned.
Since the return, over the last week or two, some of the speed is coming back. But 21 games without a goal, being on the top power play unit. Again, we mentioned earlier, not playing with Connor Bedard at 5-on-5 when Bedard's healthy. But you'd think over the course of 21 games, a puck would just hit you when you're getting as much ice time as you're getting.
What day did you say he came back? November 15th?
15th, yeah. Against Toronto. I'm trying not to overstress about this, but I don't know. It's hard to ignore. It's hard to dismiss a 21 game goalless streak when you consider the opportunity that Frank Nazar gets every night.
Yeah. Yeah, I think as we've said, like it'll once he gets one to go, I think the confidence kind of gets back. We saw Connor Bedard go through a rough goalless drought last season, and then he gets the goal, and you see him just kind of like exhale.
Yeah.
When he celebrates the goal. So it kind of, I would assume, would have a similar effect on Frank being able to kind of like break out of that, have people stop asking him about it, have people stop talking about it. But looking at, since he's come back November 15th, this is from the good people at Natural Stat Trick. I just wanted to see where Frank ranked in just different metrics. Let's see here. 46.3%. Corsi 4 percentage, that's pretty low. He's in the bottom third of forwards with him on the ice. Shots 4 percentage, again, that kind of follows the Corsi 4 percentage. Goals 4 percentage with him on the ice. 7 goals for, 14 against at 5-on-5. That's pretty bad. His expected goals for at 5-on-5 with him on the ice, he's 5th behind Ryan Green, Connor Bedard, Tyler Bertuzzi, and Ilya Mikheyev. And then expected goals against with him on the ice, he is the highest rated forward at 11.58. Now that's over the course of 16 games.
Yeah.
And that's at 5-on-5. So again, he's not the same guy that we saw start the season. But it's clear that the injury and the comeback to try and get close to 100% again has taken something off of him, taken something off his fastball, to say. But as games have played, the speed has been there. We saw in last night's game, the attention to detail defensively is there. He back-checked and created a turnover. I think he might even be just kind of pushing himself a little bit more.
Oh, definitely. He's feeling it for sure.
Knowing that the goal drought is a thing. So I think it's just going to be a matter of time for one of those chances to fall for him. He's got top line opportunity. He's playing with Andrei Burakovsky and Tyler Bertuzzi. Like, there's really not much more. He's on the top power. There's not much more you can give him to go out there and do and try and succeed. And I don't think you're going to be in a better position if you scale his responsibilities back. I think with a guy like Frank, you got to go out there and play it out and find a way to break through, because I don't think he's going to be lacking on confidence, but definitely like I feel like he's not necessarily the same guy, but it feels like a guy that switch can flip pretty quickly.
I'm holding on to that too. And look, I'm not, just to be clear, I'm not saying like it was a bad idea to sign him or he's going to be a bust or he's never going to score. No. Like we said last night, even with this scoring slump, no goals in 21 games, no points in 6 games for Frank Nazar. He is still on, what do we say,
53 point pace,
I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't think that this is what I don't think the first part of what we saw from Frank Nazar was fake, and this is real, especially when you factor in the injury that clearly was lower body, that clearly slowed him down for a week or two before he even started looking remotely like Frank Nazar again. He's getting his chances. He's getting his looks. He's had a few that he's, you saw him. What did he bobble a breakaway?
Yeah, he had the breakaway in the Rangers game. I think it was.
All I know was a blue team.
I think it was the Rangers game because it was at home.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, and he just completely didn't even get a shot off on he just fumbled the puck completely. Yeah, I'm sure his wheels are spinning at 1,000 miles per hour in that moment.
And we saw a couple good looks from him last night too. And I remember a couple games ago, Tony Granato kind of broke down a 2-on-1 he had and said, hey, here's kind of a little tip when you're a shooter to try to change the angle of your shot for the goalie so he has to react and not just square up and face you. So, look, the term sophomore slump was not invented for Frank Nazar. It's been something that a lot of players have experienced. I see a guy fighting it. And for a guy like Frank Nazar who is so supremely confident and so easygoing and so joyful at the rink, you don't want to see him lose that.
Right.
But like you said, Mario, I don't know what the solution is. You're not going to reduce his ice time.
No, he play it out.
You need to get him out of it. And Burakovsky, Bertuzzi seem to be the guys that would make the most sense. 2 veterans, 2 guys who are proven scorers. He was with Moore for a while, and maybe you don't want to put 2 young guys that are not scoring at a super high clip together. But
I mean, you got.
I just don't know what else.
You got more with Green and Lourdes.
Right.
So, I mean, you got 3 rookies right there playing together. So I don't think they're afraid of just
No,
keeping the young
I'm saying
guys
about
together.
for Frank specifically.
To break him out.
To break him out, you don't want to. I think the best thing to do is just keep him with Bertuzzi and Burakovsky, because unless you want to get him with a playmaker who's going to get him the puck.
Well,
you put him with Tavo for a while, because Tavo's not going to shoot, as we know.
Sure. Well, I mean, they have Dickinson, Mikheyev, and Tavo together. So I think you just run that's more of a defensive, more of a shutdown forward line, and then they can pop in some offense, hopefully. The only change that I would see for Frank in the lineup would be flipping him with Ryan Green, putting him with Nick Lardis and Oliver Moore. That's a lot of speed. That's a lot of youth. But Moore is a guy that'll go and get pucks. Lardis is a guy that'll shoot. Nazar is a guy that can create plays and, is trying to score goals. Like, that's really the only switch that I would make that I would think would benefit Frank. But then I think you're putting Ryan Green into a tough spot because you're putting him with Burakovsky and Bertuzzi, and you're probably asking Ryan Green, because of Burakovsky and Bertuzzi, to play on the top line. And that's a tough ask for a guy who was supposed to start the season in Rockford.
The other thing you have to consider too, and I'm sure Jeff Flashel is considering this, is without Bedard, now Nazar is probably going to draw the toughest matchups. So
he'd be with the group that would do it.
So if you were to take him off, so if you were to do the Green, Burakovsky, Bertuzzi thing, and then you have Nazar with Moore and Lardis, if you're an opposing coach, where's your focus? I'm probably focusing more on the Green line, simply because they know Frank Nazar hasn't scored in 21 games,
right,
right. And Ryan Green, for things not jumping off the page, is a pretty smart player. He plays a very mature NHL game. I think he's got more skill than it shows. I don't know. I don't know. Like, who would I opt to defend? Am I more worried about Burakovsky and Bertuzzi, or am I more worried about the speed of Nazar and Moore and Lourdes?
I mean, I
don't know. I don't know the answer.
It would depend. I think it would depend on how those lines are being deployed. If the top line is still the Burakovsky, Bertuzzi, Green line, then yeah, I think you're probably still going up against that top line with your toughest matchup, knowing that it's Nazar with 2 rookies, Oliver Moore, who's not known for goal scoring, and Frank Nazar, who's in a slump, and Nick Lourdes, who has played 2 NHL games, who is known for goal scoring.
Yeah.
But 2 NHL games into his professional career, like it's not going to be an immediate transition to the league. And Josh pointing out that Ryan Green has been on the top line most of the season. Yes, he has, alongside Connor Bedard,
right.
and playing as a wing. It's different when there's no Bedard and you're asked to play center.
Yeah, it's a significantly different set of circumstances, because I promise you, when Bedard is on the ice, the other team is not overly concerned with Ryan Green.